Good morning, mountain bikers. I'm Chris Wessels and you are watching MTB Trail Review. And today, got something a little bit different, a little special for you. I am reviewing a different bike today. This is the Pivot Switchblade. It's their Enduro-y trail bike, 160, 142 travel. And it's not my bike, just in case you're wondering. It belongs to a friend, but my bike's in the shop. He was kind enough to let me ride it while my bike is in the shop. And I thought, why not do a review? So here we go, enjoy. Okay, this is the first descent on the Switchblade. Let's see how it goes. So just off the bat, one thing I'm curious about, this bike retails for around $8,000. I think it's $8,200. And I've never been on an $8,200 bike. My Kona is by far the most expensive bike I've ever ridden. That retails for $6,000. I'm wondering, am I gonna notice the difference between a $6,000 bike and an $8,000 bike? And where do those differences lie? My Kona has XO1. This bike has, ooh, there's a go around now. I don't know how I feel about that. This bike has XCR. I feel like those are, you know, they feel very different, but comparable quality. I think one of the big differences on this bike versus my bike is carbon wheels. And mine has aluminum. Woo. Now obviously I can't compare apples to apples. This bike's a bit more enduro-y than my Kona. And I can feel that difference for sure. This bike's a bit more planted. My Kona's a lot more playful. But that's just the type of bike, and you know, when you're talking about that stuff, that comes down to your preference as a rider. Buy the bike that's going to suit you better. And I think I'm more of a playful rider than an enduro rider. But this isn't like a super enduro. As I said, it's 160, 142. My Kona's 140, 134. This one's a bit more slack too. This is a great trail to just kind of test the cornering. Whew. One thing that's pretty apparent, and I'm kind of surprised about, is I kind of feel my body position's a bit more front heavy. Like I'm a little bit more over the bars than I would have expected. Like even a little bit more over the bars than I am on my bike, which is interesting. I haven't decided if it's a good or a bad thing yet. I think it lends to better body position, being over the bars a little bit, but still with a, you know, really with good geometry. But it's kind of making me use that proper technique where I get a little lower, get my elbows out a little more. Oh, and we're out of Mount Laguna, by the way. Trails I know like the back of my hand, so this is a great place for me to come test out a new bike. Whoop. Ooh, that's seen better days. Interesting. I'm curious to see what it feels like on the next trail. I think you are. I'm going no bell today.
I'm gonna do bell.
All right, we got a downhill in. This section is a bit pedalier, so we'll see how she does here. Good over the rock garden. As for climbing, it climbs fine, but as per the usual, when I'm looking for a bike, I'm not looking for its climbing ability. This is my first real feature of the day. Ooh, that felt plush. I should have given him more space. I'm gonna slow down for a second. Yeah, I got it. I'm slowing down for a second. Give Dan a little more space. If you haven't been out here for a while, a couple new features on Gatos. Actually, I don't think this is Gatos. This is going into Gatos. I'm not sure what this section's called. Well, maybe we're on Gatos. I think we are. I don't know, ignore my ramblings. We'll just say Upper Gatos. This bike does want to go fast, I'll say that. And if you stay off the brakes, this thing goes. Feels nice and balanced on the skinny. Oh, that's new. Hold on. Let's look at that for a second. All right, new line on Gatos that we just noticed. Definitely not a faster line, but it's an interesting line. Oh, Dan going for the new rock garden. How is it, Dan? Oh, it's kind of intimidating rolling up to it.
Yeah, that first
There we go. I've been having some trouble getting this thing like to, I guess, float is the word I'm looking for. So far it just doesn't feel super playful in the air, which, you know, as an enduro bike makes sense. But since it's on the lower spectrum of enduro bikes, I was thinking it might be a bit more playful than this. But on that last little thing, kind of got a bit more pop out of it. Pop, that's what I was looking for. There's a fun little section coming up. Let's see how she pops off this. That was good. One thing I've definitely noticed with this bike is it accelerates. If you let go of the brakes, you feel like an instant response. A lot of cows today.
good test for that bike.
Let's talk about this bike's pedalability. It's not bad, but I'll say this. Normally, in the more pedally sections, up and down, flatter, I'm stronger than Dan by a lot, and I'm having trouble keeping up with him today. So I do feel like I'm dragging a little bit in the flatter sections compared to what I'm normally on, but also not what this bike's designed for. All right, about to drop into one of my favorite sections of single track. Curious to see how it feels. God, I love that turn. So far this bike definitely shines more in the tech, going a bit more straight downhill. The handling is fine, but it's not like crisp. But the suspension is noticeable, very noticeable how reactive it is in the best way possible, which is something I've heard about Pivot. So I'm glad I was able to notice that. So while I'm going through this last section, I'm just going to give you my final thoughts on this bike. I think it's a trail bike in disguise. It's somewhere in between a trail bike and an enduro bike. It shines in, you know, tech going downhill, and it's still pretty responsive and just poppy enough to get the wheels off the ground and still have fun. But it's not a playful bike by any means. So if you're somebody who likes to go fast downhill, you ride mostly tech, but still have the flow here and there, and a full enduro machine is too much, this is your bike. Just be prepared to pay for it. Also, the one thing I noticed, this bike does require a bit more rider input than I would have expected for an enduro bike. So it's not like a smash through tech bike. You still need to have a little bit of input. And yeah, that's it. So final question, did I notice the difference between the $8,000 bike and the $6,000 bike? Not really. But that's me. A better rider who's more in tune with what's going on might. And I just might not have those skills. As always, thanks for the trail with me today. Hope you enjoyed this review. Don't forget to subscribe for trail reviews in the Tandego area, as well as the occasional thing like a bike review. And I will see you guys next time.